Ready for lightning round 2. We'll start right away. So in lightning round 1, you saw companies that are making the cloud happen. They are in the trenches. Very interesting companies. Now we have 3 companies that are 3 startups that are very interestingly using the cloud to solve business problems. So these 3 companies are EmpInfo, employees, Peernova about financial information, Nimble Commerce about commerce. So first we have Gangesh from Peernova, who will be for 4 minutes, and we'll have 4 minutes each.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gangesh Ganesan. I am one of the co-founders and CTO for Peernova. Peernova is a young company. We were started about a year ago with the vision to be the leader in peer-to-peer applications and platforms for financial transactions. So what do we mean by this? Today, as we all know, the financial transaction market depends on trusted intermediaries. Whatever the type of transaction you're doing, it involves a bunch of intermediaries that are in the middle, helping you mediate, complete the transaction. The job of the intermediary is to ensure that the transaction happens, the network is secure, and obviously the intermediaries get paid a chunk for taking care of the transactions for you. One of the challenges in the centralized model like this with a trusted intermediary is that the market is actually highly centralized. It has severe consequences in terms of regulatory and enforcement framework. But more than that, it's got security challenges. What are the security challenges? Well, the central authority can be hacked. Or can be under a denial of service attack, and the service they're offering, therefore, could very soon disappear or not be available, or create hassles for their end customers. There's severe issues in terms of loss of privacy as well in this model. This is, by the way, mostly a problem in the developed market. In the developing world, where there are millions and billions of people that are actually what we call unbanked, with no real access to services, banks, and central institutions, these services are not even possible today in an easy and a simple manner. So the idea is to use some type of a peer-to-peer architecture, a platform in which cryptography is the fundamental element, and the network has actually been built based on the cryptography itself, as reliable as the entire internet itself is built on, and use this platform as the basis of all transactions. It's very highly secure and scalable, and has extremely low transaction fees, and enables all types of new transactions, including transactions like microtransactions. Examples of these markets based on such a decentralized network, some of them we are showing here. The remittances market today, which is highly centralized, which is a very, very large market, can completely be decentralized and can be run on this peer-to-peer network. Any type of an asset can be digitized and monetized. Examples of these types of applications are applications that involve things like smart contracts, smart properties, escrow services, and things like that. Today, many of these applications need a trusted intermediary to actually complete. We believe that in the future, all of these applications and markets will move towards a peer-to-peer application simply by using your own mobile phone and completing these transactions. So what exactly is needed to complete such a system or such an application? A traditional cloud model is shown on the left-hand side. Typically what you'd see is something like the Amazon cloud infrastructure. We're showing Amazon here as a traditional example. It runs on x86 servers, lots of storage, things like that available. On top of that, Amazon provide their web services. This is their software layer on which they provide their application platform itself. And then Amazon themselves provide some of the apps, and thousands of customers, tens of thousands of customers today run third-party applications. Looking on the other side, on Peernova side, what we offer is an infrastructure play where we create a custom infrastructure based on our own servers. These are servers that are actually meant to run these peer-to-peer distributed applications. Why do we have these custom servers? We have these custom servers because you need security and encryption at the heart of these applications. On top of this, we provide a value exchange API, which allows customers, various customers, to come in and run their applications securely on top of this infrastructure. And there are various third-party applications. If you sort of look at where we are as a company, we were started about 12 months ago. We have about 5,000 customers today. The first application that's running on this decentralized application today is the Bitcoin application. This is the first application we've run on our platform. But in the future, we are actually running multiple other applications on top of this same platform. So the same distributed infrastructure, peer-to-peer infrastructure that we have created, we will run all kinds of applications, including applications like digital coupons, smart properties, smart escrows, and applications like that. Thank you.
Thanks, Gangesh. Thanks, Gangesh. Now we have
So quick background about myself. My name is Prashant Nedungari. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nimble Commerce. We're actually the largest local e-commerce platform and distribution network. And what does that mean? We basically provide a cloud-based infrastructure that connects local merchants worldwide to consumers on publisher-branded e-commerce sites. And we provide the entire supply chain management infrastructure in between. So if you look at sort of our core service, it's got the supplier system, it's got the publisher, and it's got the core e-commerce network. We've got about 140,000 local merchants on our network. We've got about 45,000 products. And we've done about $650 million in sales on our publisher sites. We've got about 15 million buyers. And actually, our publishers reach about 165 million consumers worldwide. And we actually have a lot of big brands that use us. In fact, I'm sure some of you have used, purchased products or coupons or offers on some of our publisher sites. I mean, typically, our infrastructure supports, gift cards, prepaid offers, products, coupons, name it. Basically, all of that actually flows through our network. Some of our publishers you recognize in the US, Golf Now, that's NBC. Their entire e-commerce infrastructure runs on Nimble. Entercom, they have about 600 radio stations. 96.5 is one of them, but all of them actually sell to their customers using us. CBS Local, Restaurant.com, Digital First, they have about 1,400 newspapers in the US. They all use us. Travel Zoo, and these are just in the US. We are right now in 12 countries. And our investors are SK Telecom, Spark Capital, Jafco, and Carmel Ventures. We're actually right now looking for, obviously strategic partnerships with other companies in this space, as well as I'm actually raising growth capital. So anybody who's interested in talking to us, come by. My email address is right at the bottom. We also have a booth out there, so you can talk to us. Thank you.
Good. Now we have EmpInfo. We have Jag, CEO of EmpInfo.
Thank you, Sujay. And I want to thank TiEcon for this opportunity. So today, I'm going to talk about a problem that most of you have. Hold on, let me get the slides there. Thank you. So I'm going to talk about a problem that most of you have undergone. So just a quick 2 questions I'm going to ask. How many of you have gone through a background check for a job in last 1 or 2 years? So have you applied for any loan, mortgage, or refinance in the last 2 years, refinance your home? So today, when you apply for a loan, mortgage, refinance, what happens today? So those businesses, they have to verify with your employer that you are working there, you are making the money, and you have the ability to pay the loan. So, hold on, I think we are going much faster here. All right. So the current process today is a manual process. As an employer, they get a lot of inquiries to verify their employees' current employment, past employment, income information, and so forth. As a human resources person, so this is like a lot of distraction. So they get these inquiries, and an employee is an important thing. As an HR person, look, this is not a priority. I will do that when I have time. Not only is it an administrative burden for the employer, it is also risk involved today, because when someone calls, you have no idea who's actually calling. There's no way to authenticate. And also, if they receive a fax today, and then yes, anyone can make a fax and send it out, and then put down their own fax number. There's no way to authenticate it actually came from a bank. So these are all put the company at risk to authenticate who is asking this information. So number one, for an employer, particularly for human resources, this is an administrative burden, and also it's a risk involved in doing that. At the same time, this is a benefit for an employee, and doing this for an employer has no ROI whatsoever. But for the verifier who's processing your background check, or verifier who's processing your mortgage, it's an important factor. And then because of these reasons, there's a delay involved, and then they have to follow up with the multiple phone calls and faxes and so forth. And then as a result of that, you as a consumer are affected not getting this in a timely fashion. So say if you are, as an employee, if you are unemployed, you want to get your background check completed quickly so that you can start working on it. And then if you're applied for a loan, you want to make sure everything goes well, you can close your home, you can move on. These are all the challenges. For an employer, it's a challenge, it's an administrative burden. For a verifier, they don't get it right away. For an employee, it's an anxiety, stress, unnecessary. The process today, because it's manual, and these are all the challenges for these businesses and individuals. So I said, well, I myself have experienced this problem as an employee, also as an employer. Then there has to be a better way of doing this. So that's basically what it inspired us to come up with a solution, with a technology to solve this manual problem, with a solution which is basically eliminate all these administrative burdens. So what EmpInfo does is EmpInfo provides a platform for employers to upload their employees' records and then allow the verifiers to access it very securely. So basically, we leverage Amazon Cloud Platform where employers store these records, and then we allow the authenticated verifiers to access the information online. So how the process works, so employers will sign up, we integrate with their system, doesn't matter what kind of HCM system or payroll system they have, and then that's how we get the employment records, where the verifiers who need this information, they go register with EmpInfo, we authenticate them, and then once they're authenticated, they're given an access, and then that's how they access the information. And employees is still in control to make sure that consent is given and so forth. So what are the benefits? So benefits for employers is basically it's going to reduce their risk, eliminate their administrative burden. They don't have to do it manually anymore. And the last one is, because of the productivity increase for verifiers, and also for employees, all the process happens quickly, so they get what they need to do on a timely fashion. So how big is this problem? There are about 100 million verifications happens every year. So, you can think of the volume. And so our business model is such that employers provide this information, and these verifiers, once they access this information and get it, they pay it, like it's a verifier on demand, and that's how we generate the revenue. Today, these are the businesses using EmpInfo to do an employment verification and income verification. And they're about, as you can see, most of the banks and background check companies use us. And these are our early adopters of the companies using to automate the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack, that was great. I think all three companies, give a big round of applause for EmpInfo, Peernova, and Nimble Commerce.